The real-time monitoring of the contact center is an application that allows a supervisor, the administrator of the contact center, to see the status of the contact center activities, the agents, the amount of calls, the status of all the ACD groups, and will allow the supervisor to come to a quick decision based on the visual graphs that he sees in front of him. Each supervisor has his own username and password, which when he logged in, he can see the exact reports that he generated ahead of time. So when you are making any changes, you can go and save the real-time monitoring associated with your account, and you can see exactly, and when you log back in, you can see exactly the same exact reports. So on the screen, we see a real-time reporting of all the contact center activities. For example, we have a report here that shows the agents associated with a certain group. And when the supervisor sees that he has a lot of call coming in and he has a lot of agents which are out or on a break, he can click on one of the agents and he can either release, resume it, or he can move the agents from one group to the other. I have a list of available agents which are logged in, and the groups, and I can move agent immediately on the screen, and I don't need to go to any administration menu and make the changes. I can do it directly from the screen here. I can also go and add or remove columns from my reports. I can go and for example, a column associated with the email contacts. I want to see all the agents which are handling emails, and I can add this column to my report. So this is a type of report that will show you my agent activity. Here at the bottom, I have a report that shows me the status of the calls in my contact center. For example, I can see here that the report is divided based on the amount of calls and the service interval times. So if I see that the call is at the service interval 3, meaning there is a call which is waiting for a long time, I can go and add agents to this to a particular group. Here, for example, I can see that there are 2 calls waiting. Right now, I can see that there are more calls waiting, and they are waiting for a long time. So what I'll do is I'll go to my agent reports, and I see that I have a lot of agents which are released. So what I'll do is I'll go and I'll add them into the particular group so they can answer more calls. In this graph over here, I can see the agent distribution graph by colors. For example, if I'm standing on one of the colors, I can see that I have 2 agents, 1 agent out of 15 which are idle. I can see that I have release agents. I have 12 out of 15, and I might want to go and add more agents into ACD groups. Here I have a graph which is the call distribution graph that shows me how many calls were answered and how many calls were abandoned. For example, I can see that out of 89 calls, 4 of them were abandoned. So the supervisor can make a decision quickly based on the graphs that you can see on the screen. Now, a supervisor can design his own graph. You don't need to use the graphs that we are designed for you. You can go and you can make a new report. For example, we can go and make the brief agent report in real time. The reports are updated all the time. And I'm going to choose a list of agents that I want to monitor. And I have my report ready. And now I can go and add or remove users from a certain group. I can add more columns to my graph. For example, I want to see all the chat and the email agents, so I can see how many emails and how many chats they answered at a certain period of time. So the real-time monitoring tool gives the supervisor the ability to see the status of the contact center, the call center at any given time, and make a decision based on the activities on the reports, on the graphical reports.